What's up, everybody? This is Battlefield John 97 here, giving you a very, very big, massive Gaming Pickups Plus video that, as you can see in the background, I bought a ton of things from the month of April all the way until December of last year. So yeah, this is the result of procrastinating, having other stuff in the way that now that I want to be able to continue with this series, I have all this shit to talk about. A lot of stuff. Hopefully, the length of this video is like at least 15 to 20 minutes so I can upload it because of the crappy internet connection that Spectrum put in my household. But this, I'm probably going to have to skip through some of them. And also some of the things that I do have, I haven't opened yet due to various reasons. So if I'm not going to explain certain things from these games, that's the reason why. But anyhow, let's go into the video games. And now we're in the video game section, and of course, from the last Gaming Pickups Plus video, I had mostly Nintendo-related games. But from the months of April through December, I have tons of PlayStation games from across tons of PlayStation platforms and a ridiculous amount of PS4 games, particularly thanks to a lot of deals. And of course, various offers, especially from limited run games. And of course, limited run games, to be honest, I'm not really planning on opening any of the games that I purchased from Limited Run, and instead we'll be buying or purchasing the digital copies that are going to go on sale, which of course I've done for two games in particular, which I'm going to showcase. And one of them would be Windjammers, which I played this through emulation. Absolutely fantastic game, truly an underrated Neo Geo game. Definitely should get it. And of course, got the little cards and stuff like that. And we got Skullgirls the Second Encore. Definitely a great underrated fighting game that really wish it definitely hit the strides. And of course, the extra stuff that came with my big limited run games box that I got in the mail. And of course, we have the Buster of the Century, and that is Lawbreakers, which of course, I'll say this, the only reason I even bought this is because, the gameplay looked good in terms of, the videos that I've seen on YouTube, and when I actually played it, it was good. Learning curve was a bit much, which probably contributed to this game being a massive flop. So, to Cliffy B, yeah, your game pretty much fucked over itself. And then, of course, we got the Night Trap combo. Now, of course, I wanted to really get the collector's edition of Night Trap so badly, but at least I was still able to get a regular copy of the game, plus the documentary Night Trap 25 Years Later from the My Life in Gaming brand, which, of course, I'm kind of skipping ahead because I'm not in the Blu-ray section, but whatever. I gotta get it out of the way, all the limited run games that I purchased throughout those months, and I'm trying to get all the extra goodies from these in a pile. And of course, the first ever limited run game that I actually ordered from the website was Fury, the Definitive Edition, which of course I got the original Fury when it was free, and this along with Skullgirls, I actually downloaded from the PlayStation Store when I got a discount. And Fury, a pretty learning curve kind of game, but it is rewarding to say the least. Definitely still wouldn't put it in my top 5 of whatever the game was released, but definitely something to at least worth check out, especially if there's a discount for the Definitive Edition. Also coming out in terms of the Switch, which, getting ahead of myself. Now we're going to skip through a lot of the stuff here. Of course, the limited Steelbook edition of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, which of course is the last Final Fantasy game that was genuinely good from beginning to end without much controversy. 15 would have been like that if it wasn't for the bullshit that Tabata and Square has done for the game. And then speaking of Square, Nier Automata, a game that I got from Black Friday, definitely beats the original Nier in terms of a good action game and story, pretty interesting. And thankfully the game is at least a lot more than what the people online put it of 2B's ass, which it is a pretty good ass, to say the least. And some of the games that I have not opened, like BioShock, The Collection, Until Dawn, which I have played, but I haven't opened my copy of this from Black Friday. And of course, old games that I bought because, they were pretty cheap on Black Friday. God of War 3 Remastered, which I'm still kind of, I don't understand why Santa Monica didn't release the older God of War games on PS4, but the third one, but whatever. And of course, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, Already got all 3 games, played tons of them on PS3, but whatever. Still got it anyway. And then the games that I have gotten... Oh no, still got games that I have not opened yet. Ah, shit. The Last of Us Remaster. This one was also a Black Friday purchase. I haven't opened this, but I am still playing the original game. And that, of course, is Yakuza Kiwami, a remake of the original Yakuza on PS2. Still playing the original, and then go to this one in order to see the differences of how the team did it. And then, of course, you know, the games I actually did play from it. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, definitely a good remaster, and definitely tweaking the original controls of the original game to actually be good in the same vein as the third Crash Bandicoot game. Definitely worth the price for anybody who loved the past Crash Bandicoot games. And then we got Knack 2, baby! Definitely better than the original one. If you can find this for pretty cheap, and you definitely can play it with your friend, definitely worth it, in my opinion. And then, of course, we got Uncharted The Lost Legacy. The only reason I even bought this was for the digital code for Jak and Daxter, the original one. But yeah, Lost Legacy, not that bad, to say the least. Uncharted 4 is still the better game, but overall, still great. And now we're going to go into the PlayStation 3 side of things, which is only 3 games, and very few much to talk about. And that is Valkyria Chronicles. Even though I bought the remaster of Valkyria Chronicles on PS4 2 times, the Steelbook edition of it, I couldn't resist finding the original edition of this in a somewhat pretty good condition in terms of the case, and also, you know, still having all the DLC downloaded on my PS3, so at least when the PlayStation Store is down, I can at least play the downloadable content in the original version. But definitely, if you're going to play this, play the remaster first. And if you just want to play the original because you have a PS3 only, it is pretty cheap, do that. And of course, fight games from the same people, from Creative Assemblies. Definitely a pretty mediocre game, but I got it because of the nice cover illusion or illumination or whatever from the cover. And then, of course, is the original Nier on PS3. Now, I'm not going to say I dislike it. There are things that I do like from the original Nier, especially the music. The music is really top tier, but compared to the sequel, Nier Automata, this one feels a bit lacking. Kind of like, say, a typical brawler PS2 type of game. But, you know, definitely still worth it. Still at least being able to play this before Automata. But yeah, that's it for the PS3 side of things. And now for the PlayStation 2, because I couldn't resist talking about the PS2. A brand new copy of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Legend of Jack Sparrow, because, you know, I was in my Pirates of the Caribbean craze with Dead Man Tell No Tale. But yeah, I didn't open this because life's getting in the way. A brand new $10 copy of Grand Theft Auto 3, because why the hell not? Even though I have Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS3 and PS4, get the original one for, you know, whatever time I want to actually play this on my PS2. The Japanese original copy of Final Fantasy X, because I want to have a collection for Final Fantasy X. First Final Fantasy game I played, still love to this day. Tekken Tag Tournament, the original on PS2, one of the earliest PS2 games I played, still have fond memories of, but definitely hasn't aged well in certain instances. And of course, this special bundle Japanese edition of Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. I still don't know what the hell this is because I haven't opened the packaging or the wrapping from Video Games New York that they put over here, but yeah, this is a really, really good used copy of this bundle. And definitely as a fan of Metal Gear Solid 3, especially the Subsistence version, I definitely wanted to have this in my collection. And what else? Oh yeah, a bunch of Star Wars games, because you couldn't really play much Star Wars because, you know, Star Wars Mania in December. Of course, Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, a pretty good video game tie-in game, just like with the Super Star Wars games. And of course, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, with the main character being Jango Fett. Definitely a pretty unique take in the Star Wars franchise. But yeah, that's it for the PlayStation side. Now we're going to go in terms of Nintendo, which not really as much compared to the last gaming pickups, but there's still plenty to go by. And of course, I couldn't really play Super Mario Odyssey without at least going back to my very first video game, and that is Super Mario 64. I was able to find a pretty good condition box that was complete on eBay for this sucker, and I definitely cherish this in my collection as someone with fond memories of it. Despite owning various versions of this on the Wii and the Wii U, I just could not resist getting the original for my physical N64. But that's it for the old side of things for the N64. Now we're going to go in terms of 3DS and the Switch. And of course, we got Codename Steam. I shit you not, during Black Friday in Best Buy, no less, this was like less than $5. Brand new. Like you can see right here. It's still brand new and I haven't opened it because, you know, I'm still waiting for the day to find some kind of like the amiibo accessory for my old 3DS XL, because despite having new 3DS models in my collection, I still have fond memories of playing 3DS games in my original 3DS XL model. But yeah, I got this for less than $5 brand new in Best Buy, so that was sweet. And then we got Metroid Samus Returns, the special edition that has a soundtrack in it. Definitely a great return to Samus. Definitely a great return in terms of Metroid. There are certain things that makes it much easier compared to the past 2D Metroid games, but this is the right step in the right direction for Metroid, and I definitely can't wait for Prime 4 on the Switch. But yeah, we're still continuing with the 3DS. And, oh shit, the fucking collection fell. But yeah, going in is the limited edition of Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Now definitely Fire Emblem Echoes isn't really a bad remake per se, but there are certain things that if you're someone who kind of has a distaste with modern day Fire Emblem games, you may not like this. But as someone who, you know, played a past Fire Emblem game, like say the Shadow thing on DS, and, you know, once or twice through tech demos of the modern day ones, this one is not that bad, to be quite frank. And of course, the limited edition has a ton of stuff that I really like. This is a bundle. I got this for like, what, 40 or 50? No, it was $60 in Nintendo New York. And then we're going to go into the Switch, because that's the hottest shit that is in the market still. Of course, a Japanese copy of I Am Setsuna that I still have not opened yet. Despite this one actually having English language support, I still haven't opened it because, you know, I'm busy. And then, of course, Disgaea 5 Complete includes all the DLC for Disgaea 5, which released on PS4 and I think on the PS3. But yeah, definitely a great game. And even though I wouldn't say this is my favorite Disgaea game, it's still something worth in your collection. And, you know, this one I still haven't opened yet, and that's Cave Story Plus, because I couldn't, come on, there's like multiple versions of Cave Story, but, you know, having this on the Switch, pretty good in the collection. And of course, you got the Nintendo side of things, is ARMS. Definitely a unique fighting game. I wouldn't say it has a longevity compared to, say, the original Splatoon, but if they make a sequel, improve upon the controls, improve upon everything else, I think it would definitely be really good. And of course, we got possibly my game of the year, which of course I may be spoiling my top 5 or top 10 games of last year, but whatever. Super Mario Odyssey. If you have not gotten the Switch yet, go buy the Switch for this game. If you have a Switch and you still haven't gotten this, then I'm gonna have to quote Reggie on this. What's wrong with you? But yeah, that's literally about it. It's fucking great. Fucking excellent. And of course, to top it all off for the Nintendo side of things is this $100 special edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now this, if you're going to look at it, let me put it on the side here, if you can see the illumination in this box, it is fucking huge. This thing weighs a lot. It's got like a special steelbook casing for the game, an art book, and a soundtrack. And this thing, holy shit, it takes up so much space, but definitely is well worth it, to say the least. And yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I wouldn't say, you know, compared to my experience with Xenoblade Chronicles X, kind of a downgrade in terms of the big free roaming kind of thing, but overall I like the combat. Definitely much better than X. And what about, oh right, and also if you can see in the background, on either side, I bought the Sonic Mania Collector's Edition for both the Nintendo Switch and the PS4. Yes, don't tell me how to do my life, please. But yeah, with the Switch one, the box was badly damaged from my fucking mailman screwing over. But whatever, it got me the excuse of opening it up and having my Sonic on the Genesis statue be in my desk, which of course if you move all this, you can definitely see it holding my hats. Definitely a great hat holder, to say the least. And yeah, the PS4 one I haven't opened yet, is in good condition. Maybe I'll use a backup in order to help me finance my fucking situation in the future, but whatever. That's pretty much in terms of the Nintendo side of things, and not to make another segment, but here is the only Xbox game that I got from those months. Knights of the Old Republic, which of course if you played this on the Xbox 360 through its emulation, sound clipping is the worst offender in terms of playing this fantastic game from old BioWare on the 360. But definitely, if you got the chance, play this on PC and whatever, because it really is that much of a good game. But yeah, that's really it in terms of the video games. We're going to go into all the other miscellaneous stuff. The books, the Blu-rays, the toys, etc. Alright, I almost forgot. I got an SNES Classic Edition. Very good for the price. Presentation is well nice. Better than the NES Classic. Next segment. And now we're in the section of DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K Ultra HDs, and various other miscellaneous stuff. Now to get it out of the way, here is a UMD video that I bought on eBay, brand new, of Brandon Lee, The Crow. I definitely love this movie, and I found the novelty of, hey, owning this in a dead format for UMD video, you know, kind of an interesting thing for the collection itself. Definitely a great movie, a great underrated comic book film, if you have not gotten the chance of seeing it. And of course, I couldn't really have a Christmas marathon special without seeing The Terrible Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. As somebody who is a late 90s, early 2000s kid, this one was playing so much in the CW or the WB network, Cartoon Network, etc. Kind of sad that this thing was not shown in Cartoon Network, and instead they had a Teen Titans Go marathon. The less said, the better for that show. And of course, a regular 4K Ultra HD bundle of Warner Brothers' Wonder Woman. Definitely the only good DC Extended Universe movie in that entire slot that I would say, yeah, I definitely enjoyed from beginning. Some of a bumpy road at the end, but definitely overall I enjoyed. So definitely worth it in my thought. But now we're going to go into the meat of this section of the video. Now, of course, these are going to be the regular Blu-rays or special editions or collections. And then we're going to go into the steelbooks, because I have so much steelbooks from the months of April to December. And of course, we got the limited / collector's edition of One Punch Man Season 1. Which, of course, I buy shit and I haven't opened it yet because I have various other things in life that get in the way, but I couldn't resist getting the limited edition of this series that I definitely really love. Madhouse did a fantastic job with the adaptation. If you have not seen One Punch Man yet, it definitely, I think, maybe is still in Crunchyroll, but I think it's on Hulu. If you got Hulu and you've seen this, see it, you know. Definitely a great, underrated movie, to say the least. The movie, TV show. You see, so much shit across this room can mess with your brain, but let's get out of here. And of course, a Christmas marathon without having Die Hard 1 and 2, so I bought the Die Hard Blu-ray collection that includes Die Hard into the shitty Good Day to Die Hard movie itself. Definitely something worth it, because I know there's not going to be a 6th Die Hard movie, and they're going to probably reboot it, you know, knowing Disney, buying 20th Century Fox. But yeah, definitely a worthwhile collection in my Blu-ray collection. And of course, the spoils from Black Friday, Disney's Moana, a very, very good animated film in their slot. Definitely good for their portfolio and library. Definitely a great movie to have in the collection. And then, of course, in the anticipation of Thor Ragnarok, which, spoilers, was a pretty good movie. Definitely the best Thor movie in the MCU. And definitely one of those rare instances of a third installment being good, and then the previous one just being okay to god-awful. I couldn't watch Thor Ragnarok without at least refreshing my brain and seeing the past Thor movies, and then, of course, Avengers 1 and 2 in between each of them. So, of course, I got the 2017 reissue of Thor and Thor the Dark World on Blu-ray, which I'm still a little bit mixed in terms of the overall design of the reissues. But, hey, I guess I'm going to have to buy the reissues, even the ones that, you know, are old editions of previous MCU movies, because probably I may have OCD, and just looking at my collection with these kinds of things, it just ruins my fucking brain. Really does. And then, of course, I've seen this movie twice in the theater, both in English. In English and then in Japanese. And of course, is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. Best Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, but that's not saying much for this franchise. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. Japanese version pretty good. The English one tailored for the 4Kids audience, but definitely still a bit more mature out of it. But yeah, definitely a great movie for Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. And of course, a special Blu-ray in the collection as someone who's a fan of this particular YouTuber, The Gaming Historian Volume 1, signed by Norm himself. And definitely a great novelty Blu-ray in my collection. You know, because I really love Norm, and I really love his YouTube channel. And yeah, if Volume 2 ever comes up like this year, definitely will buy it. Because I really love the channel, and I really love supporting him. And of course, big One Piece fan, I couldn't resist pre-ordering One Piece Film Gold from the Funimation website that included a bunch of poker chips with Itochi Oda's artwork on the poker chips itself. Definitely a movie that's not really good in terms of the overall plot, but definitely has a lot of fun in both English and Japanese. So yeah, couldn't resist. Definitely love this movie. And then another oddity or novelty in my Blu-ray collection is finding a second copy of the Welcome to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Network Blu-ray. Now, of course, I have this, but it has like the slim PS3 as the cover, and definitely has, you know, some of the reissuing that Sony did during that time in the 2009 or 2010 years. This one is like original OG PS3, but it's weird because it's the exact same Blu-ray with the exact same menus and the exact same videos. So I don't know if Sony actually gave this out to stores like Best Buy or Target to promote the PS3. But yeah, definitely an oddity in my collection. And of course, another in my collection is the Disney release Studio Ghibli films of Kiki's Delivery Service and Castle in the Sky, which I have not opened yet because there really isn't much point in opening them because, you know, the reissued Studio Ghibli films that are now in stores by G-Kids and Shout Factory, they're already there, and, you know, I opened them and I used them, and from what I heard, they're better than the Disney released ones. But overall, I still associate Ghibli with Disney, and definitely before they got with the whole Marvel, Star Wars kind of thing, Ghibli kind of enriched their whole animation lineup, at least in terms of the US. But yeah, definitely fantastic movies. Definitely get the chance of having them if you don't have them in your own collection. And then, of course, Halloween Marathon. You can't have a Halloween Marathon without having John Carpenter's original Halloween. Now, this is the really awful 2007 release of it, where the picture quality is kind of meh, at least compared to like the later releases that, you know, they're not much better, but definitely better than this thing. But, you know, I found it on Amazon and I wanted to get it before the 31st actually came out. And then, of course, the collector's edition from Shout Factory of Halloween 2. Not as good as the original, but definitely still worth it. I can't wait to see what the new Halloween movie does. It completely ignoring every other Halloween movie, including Halloween 2. So that's going to be interesting to see. And then, of course, best movie of last year, and definitely within my top 5, and that is 20th Century Fox's Logan. Definitely one of the best X-Men movies in their lineup, and that's not saying much for most of them being mediocre, but this one definitely utilizes the character extremely well, and despite it not being an exact adaptation of Old Man Logan, it still uses this to his advantage. Definitely a fantastic movie. If you have not gotten the chance of seeing it, go and see it. This is really fucking good. And another movie that I really did enjoy from last year is John Wick Chapter 2. The more that I don't say will be the better for any of you, and especially the original. Just buy the Blu-rays, rent both of those movies out, just do it, because the more I say, the more I just spoil it, so go out and see the movie. And then, of course, even though this is a pretty bad movie, it was pretty cheap in Black Friday, and I just had to get it. So, Suicide Squad, the extended cut, I just had to. I just had to do it, fam. And then, of course, is the Steel Books. I'm just going to go through them because there's so much of it. Will Ferrell's Elf. Tim Burton's Batman. Tim Burton's Batman Returns, which is the most Tim Burton movie out of his filmography. An unopened brand new copy, 4K Ultra HD of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tale. the Lion King collectible Walt Disney Signature Classics Edition. I just couldn't resist because the Lion King, I still fucking love it. Absolutely breathtaking movie still. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Walt Disney's first 4K Ultra HD release, and I just had to. Because despite it being a weak sequel, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, still a pretty good movie. Definitely have to have that in my collection. And then, of course, probably my favorite MCU movie from last year, and that is Spider-Man Homecoming. I had to have gotten this steelbook. Fantastic artwork, really good movie. Definitely one of the best Spider-Man movies up there next to Spider-Man 2. And hopefully the sequel could improve upon it just like Spider-Man 2 did with the original. And then, of course, we got the Polar Express. And then we got the Star Wars steelbooks, which I had to because, you know, with Disney buying off 20th Century Fox, and then if the whole deal goes through by this year, these editions of the movie will probably be extorted up the ass on eBay or some shit. Or maybe it'll just be like the VHS, where you just pay like maybe $20 or more. And then, of course, the steelbooks. This piece of shit, The Phantom Menace. This piece of shit, Attack of the Clones. Shit, I got these receipts everywhere. The good to decent third outing, Revenge of the Sith. The classic A New Hope. Definitely have to have that in. And of course, the limited edition 2-in-1 steelbook collection of Home Alone 1 and 2. And of course, you know a movie is that good when I buy multiple copies of it. And that, of course, is the 4K Ultra HD steelbook of Logan. Yes, if a movie is that good, I fucking buy it multiple times. Don't at me at this, please. And then, of course, we got the Alex Ross illustrated steelbook collection of the Universal Monsters. Of course, we got The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, one of the best sequels ever, Dracula, which also includes the Spanish version of Dracula, and of course, The Wolfman. Now you'll see in my January Gaming Pickups Plus video that I'll be having the other steelbook in that collection. And that's pretty much it for the Blu-rays. I got a ton of them. I almost forgot to include these in the Blu-ray section because they were like somewhere all over this pile. And of course, the Blu-rays are the G-Kid/Shout Factory re-releases of The Secret World of Arineta, the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, and Spirited Away. And of course, to get this out of the way, I'm going to be showing off the CDs that I got over the months. Of course, the Skullgirl Special Selection soundtrack, which was included in my limited runs box that I got in the mail. And of course, you have to have this excellent Phil Collins soundtrack, Disney's Tarzan, which I was surprised they actually still sell these in Barnes & Nobles. This one I haven't opened yet, but I love the soundtrack of this. And that is Spider-Man Homecoming, the soundtrack for the movie itself. And of course, the bombastic, the greatness that is the original soundtrack of Persona 5. Found this gem in Kinokuni in Manhattan. I just could not resist. This thing has close to at least 100 tracks in this box with 3 discs in it. It's absolutely fantastic. You love the soundtrack of this, find this. It could be a bit expensive if you buy this online, but it's definitely worth it. The packaging is great. It's just fantastic. Anyhow, now we're going to go into the manga and the toys. And we got a pretty extensive collection of things that I can't really understand and can't read, but whatever. It's the novelty of it. As a fan of Japanese manga, particularly in the Shonen Jump side. And of course, the first 2 English volumes of My Hero Academia. This is how much time that I've been wasting in terms of video games. I haven't even finished the first one, and having gone to the second is just ridiculous. I have to go back and go into my manga reading side of things, because the video games have overtaken it, and the Blu-rays as well. The same thing with Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Of course, I like the anime, so I wanted to go into the original manga. Definitely a crude kind of style compared to the anime itself, but overall, still worthwhile a chance of reading it if you haven't gotten the chance. And of course, the excellent JoJo's Bizarre Adventure finally completed part 2, the hardcovers of the JoJonium edition. and of course continuing collecting the volumes of Part 3 of, what was it, Volumes 2 and Volume 3. Definitely have to get Volume 4 and 5 later down the road. And of course, the excellent, this is an absolute fantastic read for anybody, even for people who are not into manga itself, and that is Manga in Theory and Practice, The Craft of Creating Manga by Hirohiko Araki. Now, even though Araki has definite problems in terms of a writer, with various plot holes throughout the series itself, and definitely some underdeveloped characters, the lasting impressions of some of those underdeveloped characters and everything else is pretty interesting. This is a great read for anybody who wants to learn in terms of characters and story and stuff like that. Definitely a great read. And now everything that I'm able to read because of a fucking gaijin is out of the way. Now we're going to go into the shit that I can't read, and it's going to be quick as possible because really I have not much to discuss about aside from it's the novelty of it. So now here's this Famitsu magazine that I purchased because of the Super Mario Odyssey cover. Because why not? Why the fuck not? This Ultra Jump cover, this Ultra Jump issue with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Which, of course, I can't even read, but it has JoJo in it, so fuck it. I just wanted to get it anyway. These V-Jump issues that have Yu-Gi-Oh! Frames with the new Link cards itself, but I haven't opened them yet, so that's how much I actually... that's how much my interest in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still undercooked because of this shit. But yeah, this out of the way, now we're going to go into the Shonen Jump issues that I got, which last year... they were celebrating the 20th years of One Piece, and then, of course, this year they're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump itself. Now, in the spinals itself and various issues, there was various goodies that... Oh, shit! There's definitely not going to be cut in it. There's definitely not going to be a cut. But yeah, these shits are fucking huge. They take up way too much space, but for the novelty of it, why the hell not? So here are the issues that I got from Shonen Jump that I have not opened yet because I don't have a shelf in order to facilitate it. Now this is the 20th issue One Piece, which I got another copy of it itself because I'm that much of a fucking fan who can't even read shit in order to be able... This is how much heavy these phone books are to be able to facilitate it. So yeah, another issue copy of this. And of course, the special shit. I haven't put in the receipts yet. The receipts have taken control of me, you know? I'm trying to show off this kind of cool little thing. Of course, you combine them together, and they make one cool cover span. That shit I fucking love. It's pretty unorthodox to keep them, but definitely still cool and worth it to have. And of course, the single issue with various artists, particularly Tagashi, still having chapters of Hunter x Hunter within these issues of Shonen Jump. This is like from 36 to 37 of the week of last year. And of course, the last issue that I got from last year, and that is the 20 years of One Piece. I just couldn't resist. And then, of course, issues that, even though these are 2018 issues, they were released last year in December, so don't add me for this shit. First issue with the cover of Haikyuu in it, and of course, a celebratory Christmas issue, which, you know, I gotta have, because it was the novelty of it. The novelty of it. That's my excuse in buying shit that I can't even fucking read and take much space. Which, I don't know if I lost control of my life of that. But yeah, we got some more shit that I can't even read. And that, of course, which I'm not going to show off the covers of it, is 6 issues of the One Piece log, which, of course, covers the New World, the early arcs of the New World. Which, trying to fucking carry this in this kind of position is really bad and terrible. But these One Piece logs, for those of you who don't know, are basically re-release issues of One Piece, or basically, if you miss the chance of reading these arcs of One Piece in the weekly Shonen Jump format, with long pages and the page quality being that much of a phone book, these are basically what the One Piece logs are about. Basically reading One Piece how it was in weekly Shonen Jump, but compile it all together from like, what, 20 or 30-ish chapters in each log, and not to mention all the goodies that were in the past Shonen Jump issues, they reissue and they put in these One Piece logs, which is pretty good. And not to mention, these are 20th anniversary editions of the One Piece logs that covers the Fisherman arc all the way still up to the Dressrosa arc, which of course I have 27, which is going to be shown in my next Gaming Pickups Plus video. But yeah, to say the least, as somebody who wastes tons of money, particularly shit that I can't fucking read, I'm that much of a special person. And then the self-explanatory toys, which the amiibos, various figures that I got from various stores in Manhattan, etc. Which of course the amiibos, the 4 Guardians from Legend of Zelda. Couldn't get the 4-in-1 pack because they were sold out at Nintendo, but here they are. The gang's all here. The Fire Emblem Fates Almond Cassell amiibo bundle. Cloud, which in his Advent Children outfit, because I really love the outfit compared to his classic, which is sacrilege to say to certain Final Fantasy fans. And of course, the Zinkling Boy from Splatoon 2, because he has the hair color green. And my favorite color is green, because fuck it. And then of course, some other miscellaneous shit, like these packs of Disgaea cards, because I was playing Disgaea 5, and I was in the Disgaea mood. These Dragon Ball Super figurines, which I was pretty cool to have Super Saiyan 3, because despite the ridiculous fucking design of it, it's just that cool looking. Really love Super Saiyan 3 out of that. And of course, Shampoo, this Figma of Shampoo, because she's really fucking good. Definitely a good wife next to Akane. But yeah, that's really about it in terms of the Gaming Pickups Plus video from April to December. As you can see from the length of this video, it's pretty fucking huge. Editing is going to be a nightmare on that phone, but yeah, definitely, I don't know what the next video will be for this channel, but it's definitely not going to be as long as this. Anyhow, this is Battlefield Joe 97. Catch you guys later.